should be sending to your email list. So you should be sending the following kind of emails to your email list. The first one comes out to be a welcome email. When you're onboarding someone, hiring someone, these are the emails that have to be taken care of. Offer emails, wherein you're offering a job to someone or you're giving great discounts, etc. Survey emails, wherein you would want people to interact and involve in a survey. Request email, wherein you're requesting either for further details or for more information. Newsletter emails, wherein the company has to keep a direct contact with its customers. It keeps on sending newsletters so that they know what's ongoing in the company. Via hiring email, wherein you're stating, maybe to someone who's previously applied to your organization, that you're hiring again. So it's an opportunity for that person to apply again. New product email, when you have suppliers or you have customers whom you need to inform about the launch of new products, that is where this email is used. Announcement emails, wherein you're announcing good things to the people around. Last one, reorder email, wherein I have ordered something but I wish to reorder the same. Talking about the welcome email, let's learn why do we need welcome emails. One, it sets the tone of your relationship with each of your subscribers. Your subscribers are aware that they have logged in or they have moved into a new organization. It introduces subscribers to the way of getting things done or doing things. So here you may even send them testimonial videos, etc., or demos or samples that can help them get through the process. Give them a good reason to read and engage with your content. If it's going to be bulky content, content would not be read by the subscribers. It has to be from the area or from the domain which attracts them. Give your customers a clear idea of your audience. So the text that you're sharing with them should give them a clear idea as to how many what is the amount of customer base you're dealing with, maybe, or what is it in terms of product and services that makes you unique than your competitors. Next, we're talking about the goal behind sending a welcome email. When we're talking about these goals, we have to make sure of a few pointers. One, you're setting the subscriber expectations there. You're telling him or her that you are good or you're great at timely delivery. You're doing great in terms of customer service stuff that you're doing in the industry, etc. Restate the benefits of being a subscriber. What is it that the customer is going to gain? Maybe you're giving some free giveaways. Maybe the customer gains complete knowledge about whatever is happening in the industry around, etc. Ask your subscribers to make lots of micro commitments. These small little commitments will make these subscribers keep coming back to your organization. Create attention, curiosity, interest, and desire. It should not be dull and dry. The reason is that the interaction should be two-way and not just one way. You cannot have the AVs doing these tasks or videos or pre-fed information doing this task. You will have to have a person doing this task. How do you get welcome emails work for you? So now comes out the basic question, that how is it that you're going to make these emails work? One, you need to find an audience that's both willing and able to buy the product or the service that you're offering. Make sure you have an in-depth understanding of your audience. You have to focus on your content for your audience pain points and problems. If you already highlight this, that we understand that this is the pain area that you're facing, and we are working towards solving this problem, they'd be all the more happy. Create a welcome email that's personal and focused on your subscribers. So when we are talking about subscribers here, we have to make sure that a welcome email breaks that ice and it connects the two together. Use your welcome emails to set expectations as to what you expect the customer to be doing or what the customer expectations are from you. Restate the benefits of being a subscriber in your welcome email so that they do not unsubscribe or unfollow. Ask for the micro yeses in your welcome emails. Do you like the entire process? Was it a smooth process? Etc. Create attention, curiosity, interest, and desire in your welcome email. If the content that you're sharing in the welcome email is dry and dull, nobody would want to go through it. Nobody would want to read it. Next, talking about offer emails, they include a descriptive subject line because here we are talking about things wherein we are offering a job. So it becomes all the more important what's the company name, what is the role, and other stuff wherein we are mentioning in the subject line. Attach helpful documents. Make sure you're giving them a JD, etc. Send them offer letter as an email attachment, wherein you're confirming that you may join the organization from maybe a date and a time. Why do we write offer emails? So this kind of communication is important because it's a quick way to communicate important job details. You're providing every important detail here. Let your best candidate know before he has the chance to accept another offer. If this is not a timely process, maybe you're losing on a good candidate. It creates a more personal connection because you have given one, a written communication, two, you are making sure that the customer or the person who's received this offer is satisfied with the same. How to send an offer letter in the email body? Now, when we're talking about the sending of an offer letter, we have to make sure that there are certain parameters that we are keeping in mind, like the JD, the job description or the job details have to be mentioned. The contingencies, if applicable. For instance, if I say post this pandemic period, you are not getting any opportunity to work from home, you will have to report to the office. At will settlement. So maybe the candidate had asked for a higher amount, but you coaxed or convinced the candidate that right now X is the amount of money that we are capable of providing you, and he or she agreed to it. Make sure all these settlements are there mentioned in black and white. The compensation, the benefits, etc. Maybe you're providing a cab service for pick and drop, or maybe you're providing a laptop or other benefits to the candidate. Deadline for accepting or declining the offer, that's very necessary because a lot many time people do not read the mail and it is there in their inbox for years. 10 years later, if someone accepts it, it's going to be of no use. That's the reason a deadline is very much important. And also, if it is not done within the due period, you are considering it to be a declined offer. Your contact details in case the person wishes to contact you back. That is utmost important in that case. The contact details are also important when it comes to the organization. It builds a kind of trust in the mind of the person. Next comes out to be my survey email. When I'm talking about survey emails, we have a few guidelines that have to be followed. Number one, use a clear email subject line. Again, the importance of my subject line is it's going to decide whether the customer or the person is going to open the email or is going to delete it directly. Say who has been asked to participate. It's not every customer who is willing to participate, but you can always give offers or lucrative, deals there so that the customer participates. Explain the survey's purpose before giving the survey link. That's important because the customer should know what is it going to be all about. Create urgency with the deadline. So when we're talking about the deadline, you have to make sure that there's a sense of urgency that is created so that the survey doesn't keep lying in the mailbox for years. Mention time needed to participate. So you can write as a quick survey, but then it's always better you mention the time, maybe 2 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. Explain the incentives. Why is it that the person needs to fill the survey and what is it that he or she will get? Next comes out to be my request email. When I'm talking about request emails, one, you need to start the email by explaining what you are writing about. What is the request that you're making, the topic or the subject? And what is the email's purpose? That is, you want to ask them some questions or something else. Maybe I am requesting for a pick and drop from my home because it becomes too late in the evening when the office hours are over. So that's going to be a request email. Maybe I'm requesting for some data from the marketing department, etc. Then in the next section, you ask them the questions or requests. And finally, in the last section, you finish the email by saying, when you require the information or things, by and thank them in advance for doing so because they're going to provide you the information that has been asked for. Once your request has been complied with, you have to make sure you're thanking them by writing a thank you email. Next comes out to be my newsletter email. When I'm talking about newsletters, the e-newsletters today have become very popular. You have to make sure that you're placing your logo on the top of your newsletter so that the recipients can associate it with you. They know what the organization is talking about and which organization is floating this newsletter to them. Use headings to separate the different parts so that it looks good in shape, it becomes readable. The headings should be in bold and underlined so that they are distinguished from the main text. Use dividers, they help the reader break down and digest the content. If too much heavy content is shared in one go, the reader would find it difficult to digest in one go. Next, use images to give a fresh look to your email. Again, infographics, images, GIFs, etc. have gained a lot more popularity today. Your newsletter must be branded. That means your brand name should be reflected wide and large there. Let your readers react to your content and let them share it over the social media. They'd only be doing it if they're happy and satisfied customers. Whatever call to actions you use, they must be easy to understand and click. If you want them to revert, maybe you want them to participate, maybe you want them to offer, order, anything, the instructions should be clear. Don't forget the required information in the footer of the newsletter, that is, the company details. So when we're talking about the anatomy of a newsletter email, we have to make sure that we're keeping in mind the following pointers. One, we're defining the goal of the newsletter. It should not be ambiguous. We are using editorial newsletter calendars so that it's shared within a specific time range and the period is fixed there. Dedicate each mail to one topic. So when we are dedicating each mail to one topic, that is where it becomes all the more meaningful. Craft catchy subject lines so that your email doesn't go to the spam box and is read by the readers. When we are talking about the newsletter template, you have to make sure that it's creative. Why? If it's not creative, it's dull and boring. People wouldn't want to read it. Share valuable content. Whatever is important has to be shared in the newsletter. Whatever new the company is doing, whatever new the company is venturing into, etc. Next, there are a few points that have to be taken care of when we are talking about all these newsletters. One, fit 3 to 6 items in one newsletter. That's the minimum and the maximum range. If you go beyond the maximum, people wouldn't want to read it again. Check your grammar. Proofreading is a vital part of any piece of writing. Send the newsletter, but don't stop here. That means there is a next step to it. See how much response did you receive over it. Check if there was anything that customers liked more or disliked more. Track the matrices that help you reach your goals. Test the best time to send your emails. Usually people do it during the festive seasons or during the weekends. Don't send newsletters too often or once a year. That's going to be very illogical to do this. Quantity instead of quality is always better, because when we are talking about quantity and quality is what people look for. Now there are few items that you should definitely be putting into your newsletter, like pictures or photos, blog posts, reviews, contests, company news, webinars, infographics, and offers. These are like lucrative stuff that customers want in any kind of newsletter that we are talking about. So here, when we are talking about offers, we have to make sure that their duration is limited. Otherwise, the person will open it anytime and will use it anytime. Talking about we are hiring emails. So these kind of emails create a kind of excitement in the readers. Start with some research. You need to make sure that about the background of the person and the previous knowledge of the person. Get an introduction or a referral. So when you're talking about an introduction, maybe the person has put up his resume on some of the job portals, or you got to know through LinkedIn or some other referral. Understand the opportunity that you're selling. Make it lucrative for the person so that the person applies for the same. Write a great subject line. That's important because when we are talking about a subject line, that's the major thing which either sends the email to the spam box or the bin, or the person opens it. Write the email content. Wait for a few days and then take a follow up if you receive no reply. Use software to complement your work. So you have to make sure that when you're writing a "we are hiring" email, you're taking care of the following points. Talking about a new product email. When you are anticipating a new product being launched in the market from your company, how is it that you create that kind of charm in the minds of the customers? Build anticipation. Letter from the CEO that speaks 1,000 words in itself, wherein the CEO directly communicates with the customers. Reveal the product, the first launch kind of a thing. Take the conversation offline. When you're calling customers, you're informing them. Maybe you are talking face to face to them, etc. Close the sale. No sales happening at this point in time, no offers happening at this point in time. Next comes out to be my announcement email. When I have to declare something, that is where this kind of email is to be used. State clearly what the email is all about. Tell the audience why the message is important. Why do they need to go through it? Why do they need to read it? Talk about how your product or your service is going to solve their problem. Briefly describe the product, service, or upcoming event. Your message should end with a call to action that you want them to be performing. Now, announcement emails, there are a few best practices that have to be followed. Send the announcement minimum 5 days before the launch, in 2 days, and on the launch day. This is a particular permutation and combination that has to be followed. Accompany the announcement with an inciting visual. Make sure that the customer gets a glimpse of what is being launched. Provide your clients with the benefits of using your new product and visiting an event. Maybe you give them a special pass for seeing the opening event. Send the announcement to a relevant mailing list segment and not to your dead customers. Encourage recipients to open the email with a captivating subject line. Again, a subject line comes into main frame, makes it all the more important. The reorder email. When we are talking about reordering, we are making sure that there are a few efficient and effective practices that have to be followed. The first one, make it immediately apparent who the email is from. That means your company should be reflected there. And with your brand name and logo prominent at the top so that the customer gets to know right from the beginning who is interacting with them. Be sure and include at least one high quality photo of the product. High quality photo because usually when we attach it over a mail, the pixels get distorted. Explicitly state any promos, discounts, or special offers like free shipping that you must have been running at the moment when the product launch is there, or if the customer wishes to reorder from you. Make them time sensitive. Do not give them an excessive time limit to do it anytime. Link directly to the product page. Do not give links for here and there because that's going to spoil the mood of the reader. Now, you have to remember to give them enough time to replenish before actually running out. That means if I have purchased product A, which I know would end in almost 2 days, I shouldn't be ordering it after 2 days. I should be ordering it at least 10 days in advance. Include relevant links to your social media profile, give them customer reviews, give them customer service portals, and even an unsubscribe button. That's really important because at times customers do not want to have such emails from the company's end. The best subject lines for reorder emails are as follows: time to restock or reorder. Is it time to refill? Down to your last drop? Get free delivery or 15% off if you replenish now. Ready to top up? Running low on, and then the name of the product. Nothing lasts forever. Need a refill, etc. The few advantages of reorder email: they make you earn more money. That means more revenue. More sales, definitely. When the sales increase, the revenues increase automatically. The customers are happy. You're reminding them that they have to get their product refilled. Higher lifetime customer value because they feel valued here, that the organization is remembering them. Let's recap the entire module once again. Let's mention the types of email that you have learned so far and make sure that you are giving the correct bifurcations here. Mention the main features that are included on the body of an inquiry response email. You have to remember all these points carefully. What are the various kinds of subject lines? How do we use them? What is a salutation and how to choose the right salutation for your email? Where do you use the first name? Where do you use the last name? Where do you use sir, ma'am, and where do you simply write the name? Which words are used while closing a professional email? Do you think we use XOXO? No, right? What precautions should be taken before an email is sent? Do you recall proofreading here? Yes, that's what we're talking about. With this, we bring this module to an end. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.